Champions, most of our questions were focused on us, but we don't forget that we have an opponent, and they also want to achieve things like us. So the sixth question is, what's the opponent's next move or plan? Once you know the answer, often our best plan will be to prevent the opponent's plan, or just their next move. Let's look at the board.
It's black to move. Are you ready to pause the video? Think what is opponent's next move or plan, and also how you can prevent it. Alright. Here white's bishop on d2 is limited with their own pawns, and the bishop on d2 closes the rooks. Both rooks. So, it would be smart here for white if it was their move to play c4. Now they might want to take on a5 and ruin our pawn structure in the queen side, or to play bishop c3 check. Let's say we play knight c6, yeah? Bishop c3 check. Now the bishop is very strong, and our king is gonna be worried. Next they can maybe double the rooks, or they can play queen g4, trying to bring the queen somewhere close here h6 and f6 and create problems for us. Also with queen g4 they want to play rook d7 and attack our queen. So their position suddenly became much better than what they had initially. How we can stop white's playing c4? Well, if you say it, let's play c4 ourselves, it's a great choice. Now, with c4, we locked white bishop in their camp. It cannot get out. And also in the future, what we can do? We can think about bringing our rook to d3, a very strong square. Because if they allow us to do that, let's say this is here, and they play bishop c1 and exchange the rooks, we are going to have a very strong connected passed pawn in both cases if we take ed3 or if we take here cd3. In both cases, here it's very strong. Another thing we can achieve after c4. We might play, for example, b5, defend the c4 pawn one more time, and then transfer this knight here. We will decide about that. But clearly, in the initial position, just by asking this question, what is opponent's next move or plan, we figured out that white wanted to play c4, and it's very obvious we should play c4 ourselves. Then next example. You play with black pieces. How would you continue here? Please pause the video, ask this question, what is opponent's next move, plan, and think about how you can prevent it. Okay. White has a bishop pair, and they have here bad pawn structure in the queen side. So if it was white to move, it would be very logical for them to play c5. First of all, they have bishop pair, so they want to open the position, right? And also with playing c5, they will get rid of one of their weak pawns. How we can stop white playing c5? Well, if you say knight d7, this is a possible move, but white will play rook d1, pinas, and we have something better than knight d7. We can put our pawn on c5. It's illegal move, I know. So how we can organize that? Okay, if you say knight a5 with the tempo, attacking the queen, you are absolutely correct. Queen moves somewhere, and then c5. Very important move, not to allow white to play c5. By the way, if you notice this tactic, bishop c5, bc5, queen a5, it doesn't work. Because after bishop c5, bc5, our queen defends the knight. So, after knight a5, queen a4, c5, what we achieved? We fixed these pawns, and we didn't allow white to open their bishops. Now look at this bishop, which is very sad. It's limited with our pawns. It's also limited with their own pawn on c3. The bishop on f1 is limited with the c4 pawn, so both bishops are dead. And we achieved it by just asking this very important question, what is opponent's next move or plan? If we didn't ask it and play a move like queen d7 with idea rook d8, just normal move, yeah, we would allow c5. Then both bishops would be okay. But with knight a5 and then c5, now we have a very big advantage. You play with black again. How would you continue? Please pause the video and immediately answer this question. What is opponent's next move or plan? Okay, if you say it, white wants to activate their pieces by bringing this knight to e5. A very strong square for the knight, you are absolutely correct. Now, let's ask the second question, how we can prevent it? We have this bad bishop on c8, limited with our own pawns. So if we manage to exchange the bishop with the opponent's knight, this very dangerous knight on e5 would be a very big achievement for us, right? So if you say here, let's play b6 with the tempo on this bishop, and when the bishop goes back, we play bishop a6, you are very cool. Now the bishop is activated on this diagonal, and it doesn't allow white to play knight e3, knight e5, because once I do that, we are going to remove it from the board. There is no that knight that could be on e5, and now we have this e4 square for ourselves. And this knight is much better than opponent's bishop. Also, white has this e3 backward pawn, which in the future we are going to pressure, so we got a big advantage. Now you are with white. How would you continue? Please pause the video, ask this question. What is opponent's next move or plan, and also think how you can prevent it. Alright, if you didn't bother about opponent's plans and you wanted to take the free pawn on a7, you need to watch the Tactic Ninja course. If you didn't think about that, please pause the video and find out why bishop a7 is a blunder for us. Okay, because here we have king, queen, and black can take rook a7, and after queen a7, bishop b6, we should say goodbye to our queen. Okay, so bishop a7 is not possible. Now let's ask this question. What is opponent's next move or plan? Here we have a bishop pair advantage. And black actually wants to play the next move, bishop b6, and exchange the bishops. Very logical move by them. How we can prevent that? If you say it a5, bravo. Now we prevented the opponent's plan with bishop b6, and we want to take on a7 already because of the a5 pawn. After bishop a7, rook a7, black cannot play bishop b6, we have pawn here, right? And after a5, what if black plays here bishop d6, and they want to play bishop c5, what now? If you say bishop a7, I will not talk to you. You just need to skip this course and go to watch Tactic Ninja, because it will be the same motive. Rook a7 and bishop c5, and we lose the queen. And if after bishop d6 you say it, let's play b4, you are getting the point. Now we didn't allow bishop c5. If black plays c5, we top after bishop c5 to exchange the bishops, we can play b5. The bishop on d6 is limited with their own pawn, and we kept our bishop pair advantage. The last example. Play with black pieces, and with their last move, your opponent just played a3. Please pause the video and think what is opponent's next move, plan, and how you can prevent them. Okay, white just played a3, then they want to play b4 and get some activity in the queen side. What would be cool if we could play here a4? Then we would block opponent's pawns, and if they pushed it again, we could do en passant, and now they got a bad pawn structure. We got the c5, strong square for our knight, and the e3 pawn is gonna be weak all the game. Why we cannot play a4 in the initial position? Because white has here two pieces and it has just one defender, so this is a free pawn. However, what we can do here is to play knight c5 first, bringing the knight to a great position, attacking the queen, and when the queen goes somewhere, and they want to play b4, here we can play a4, preventing b4, preventing opponent's counterplay in the queen side, and then we can switch to play in the king side. We will use our f4 pawn, this bishop, and you can go with an idea like king h8, rook g8, g5, g4, and push towards opponent's king. With knight c5, and then a4, you blocked opponent's counterplay in the queen side, and your hands are free in the king side.
My champions, we have the sixth question as well. Often our best move will not be achieving something, but preventing opponents' plans and making them hate us. Prophylaxis is a huge topic, and later you will watch a course on it. But for now, I recommend developing a habit of always asking this question: what's the opponent's next move or plan? Now let's move to the final, the seventh question.